Guys, you know what I'm so happy about?
What?
I'm so happy that Andrew Tate got banned.
Oh my God. Thank you.
Right?
Yes, I couldn't stand seeing that misogynist all over my socials and
Like, sexism isn't really, like, we don't stand for that as a podcast.
You know, we've always been those type of guys where, like, we will march for women's rights.
Exactly.
You know, we want tampons to be free.
Exactly.
And
if you don't want to use a tampon, bleed.
And we want women's club only.
Right.
So they feel safe.
I love that they get to go in free when we go clubbing. I love that.
I love it. Like, you know, when I see a woman get in for free at the club, I'm like, yeah, go do you, boo. Like,
exactly.
I love that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love
and then,
that
like, when I meet a girl and she's like, I just fuck anything and, like, I don't care about, you know, like, you shouldn't care about my body count. I shouldn't care about her body count.
There's no judgment here on what they want to be and what they want to achieve. And you know what I hate the most?
Uh-oh.
You know what I hate the most?
Go.
The gap between the pay of men and women.
Exactly.
Because women deserve all the rights.
What do you think?
I think some of what he says is actually on point.
Whoa. Is he agreeing with Andrew Tate?
Wow.
That's crazy. Do you not know the The wage gap? They earn $255 less than us. I googled this. $255 less a week than men.
Damn.
What do you think about that, Luke? Do you know that 75% more men commit suicide? Wait, hold on. Is that wrong? Fuck.
8 out of 10 people.
Yeah, you know more men go to oh, fuck, that doesn't go with what we're saying. More men go to jail. Fuck. Men ain't shit though.
Yeah, man.
Am I right? Men ain't shit though. It doesn't count. Men deserve to go to jail.
Right? Yeah, just for staring at a woman.
You should not look at a woman because that makes you deserve to go to jail.
That's haram.
Right.
And what they would say.
And God said women are allowed to do anything they want because they're precious.
Does it say that in the Bible?
What are you
not the Bible edition I'm reading.
Man, this guy.
Wait, no, that's the wrong one.
This is haram!
I'm just hoping and praying for something good to come out.
What is that so bad?
Also, Andrew Tate is a sex trafficker, so I don't know why he supports him because like we don't.
And I think I'm hearing about this.
I think that women deserve, men deserve better role models than Andrew Tate. Yeah, like James Charles.
Yeah, we deserve a lefty.
Yeah, James Charles.
We should start being the leftists. You know,
Yeah.
I feel so much safer when I don't see Andrew. What's his name? Andrew Tate.
Yeah,
on my social media.
He got banned. Who cares what his name is, right?
Well, that's only a start. You know, I feel like as men, we should take care of our women in general.
Ban all men.
Facts.
Am I right?
Bro.
Am I
Cam.
right?
You know what I mean?
Cam. There's some energy here that isn't. My Scorpio rising and it's not working.
My Mercury retrograde is not vibing right now.
Yeah, Mercury, Gatorade, like it's not working.
Absolutely not. Just
I feel like you're disagreeing with us. Why are you disagreeing?
Major disagreements.
Whoa.
I mean, just a few. Hold on, major. Just a few.
Misogynist, sexist.
Yeah. Damn. Come on. You should be with the gays.
Exactly.
You should respect the gays. You should respect the black and brown people and the Asians and all types of colors.
And women, not men.
Yeah. Women should run everything, not men.
Exactly. Fuck the patriarchy.
Come on, man.
I can't keep up with it, bro. Fucking hell.
Can't keep up with what? You're talking about the wage gap again?
Can't keep up with you women.
Because we're not meant to. They're meant to be first. Always.
Yeah.
Always.
To be loved, protected, and provided.
Exactly.
That's how it should be.
Bro. We're cocks.
No, I'm not.
Hey, cock. What's up, cock? Look, muck cake. Wait, I have to be serious because we're talking about women and they deserve everything in the world and we ain't shit.
Yeah.
Do you have a penis?
I shouldn't have one.
That's haram. I feel like everyone with a penis should just die.
That's so true, though.
Yeah, like
You
my
know?
granddad.
Here we go again. Here we go again.
Okay, guys. Whew. Can we just like cut the cameras?
Yeah.
For a sec. All right, they cut. Whoa, what is this?
What happened?
About.
What happened?
Did we just talk about how much we hate Andrew Tate?
What happened? Why we got sunnies on?
Why do you have to have sunnies on?
Why do we have cigars?
I don't know. That's kind of crazy.
Maybe Andrew Tate was right.
Whoa.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
I don't know. I think he's 100% right.
I feel like they should unban him.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's what I'm starting to think too, bro.
I feel like deplatforming someone who's starting a conversation that should be had, regardless of if you agree with it or not.
Regardless of your feelings,
Right.
and you should put that aside and have a proper conversation with another human being, and not let anything else distract that. I feel like we need to have that conversation.
I feel
And
like
he
we
was
have
ready to have
rapists
it.
here, men and women, that are out free, and Andrew Tate, who's never been charged, is banned. His Instagram got banned first.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Have you seen his Instagram? It's just him and his cars and poems. So he's a bit of a weird
He's a
cunt.
hopeless romantic.
Exactly. Ever since smoking the cigar, something happened, bro.
I feel like
Shit done changed.
I feel like a top striker right now.
I feel like the top
How do you
G,
guys
bro.
feel?
I feel like everything we said for the first 10 minutes was a lie.
Goddamn lie.
What color your
The hoes gonna love this. The hoes gonna love this.
Pop, pop, pop.
The delusional motherfuckers.
Damn.
Top G. Top striker. Do you understand?
No, but seriously, like we
Nah, we don't agree with him, bro. 100%.
No, that's not what I was gonna say. I
Absolutely
agree with him. Look, 90% I agree. But what I was gonna say was because we did a podcast from 2 weeks ago before the ban, and I feel like yes, we're selfish. We just want to talk about something that's popping right now for views.
Yeah,
That's what we do.
for sure. That's how you start a good podcast.
That's how you start a good podcast. What's like in the ether right now that we can talk about? It's Andrew Tate, and he's the one popping. We're gonna talk about other shit today.
Got some good shit coming
We
up.
got some good shit coming up. But like, what do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of the whole banning shit?
It's a bit of ridiculous, bro. Like, it's weird how like every social media platform is like somehow like they all get together. Maybe it was some
'cause
sort of
nobody wants to get cancelled.
some sort of phone call and they're like, I guess we gotta do something. But it's like who are the people that will like ban him? Like how much pull do they have
Yeah.
to be like for those social media giants to be like, all right, we gotta cancel somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But I do get it because every social media account on these private platforms, it's like rented space. Like, well,
Yeah.
even us, we don't own our TikTok and Instagram pages. If that, that
Yeah.
private
Yeah.
company's like, all right, we can get rid of it. Well, it's kind of like their rules or whatever. I kind of get that. But it's like, there's no like real genuine reason. Like, what does Al Qaeda get to have a fucking Twitter account? Andrew
Yeah.
Tate doesn't.
And he doesn't say anything wild on Instagram and shit. And I think it's fucked up because he's been making content for years, right? And he makes content that's like an hour long, and they'll cut bits where he's obviously joking, or like he's doing shit in satire, and they cut it up to make someone look bad.
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't just an Andrew Tate problem. This is like a whole problem with everyone else. Like, imagine like they were doing shit like this to Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, when they try to cancel Joe.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, for example, if you put it in context, right? If you watch a whole game of football, and at the end of the game, when everything's finished, you see the highlight of every good play, right? And then when Andrew Tate's video is finished, they see the lowlights
Yeah.
of the dumb shit he said as a joke or whatever. So that's the difference. Like, if you're watching sports, they're gonna show you like, damn, that's a nice like play right there.
Yeah.
And then there's like,
And I like Andrew Tate, bro. Like, because I feel like these days we have to be like flip-floppy with like what we like. And I'm sick of doing that shit. Like,
Yeah.
there's people like people will say like, oh, you're dick riding and all that bullshit, but it's like people that like I like and I follow, I actually want to get into like what makes them work like that. So like someone like Drake, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love how he moves like within the music industry.
Yeah.
I watch all the interviews, like I watch like all the shit he does on social media, like his new music, like, and people call that dick riding, but at the end of the day, like
You enjoy it. Like, what's wrong with that?
I like what this person has to say. They live a lifestyle that I want to live, so why wouldn't I learn from it? And Andrew Tate, like we said, the past podcast before this, bro, he social media and content creation, he killed that whole game.
He owned social media or the internet in 2 months.
Yeah.
He took over
I don't
TikTok.
know. Yeah,
bro.
I don't know. Started on TikTok, and all the boys are like, "Yo, this guy is funny," and then the people that's like, "Oh no, my feelings are a bit hurt. You can't find that funny," and now like, he was like, he doesn't care. He was like, he literally goes, "I took over. I'm leaving. I took over the internet in 2 months.
Yeah.
I'm leaving."
He took over their mental space rent
Yeah,
free.
like, and that's what happens. Like, we were just like, "All right, man, he's a bit funny." Like, we're not gonna take everything he says seriously.
Exactly, yeah.
We're not dumb. We got our own minds. We got our own thoughts. We're not gonna be like, "Oh, he watches him," or like he's seen some of his videos. That means like he's gonna follow Tate's teaching. Like, no, bro. We just find some shit funny sometimes.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, like the people, like I said, the people that gets their feelings hurt like easily. They're like, no, you should not find that funny. Or like, you are like the problem because you watch him and you're giving him the platform. Like, come on, that's too much. Like,
Yeah, I was seeing people because I posted him on my Instagram and like girls started to unfollow me. But the smart ones are like, I actually like him.
Yeah.
And then they unfollow me because of an opinion.
yeah.
But people have different opinions about everything. I think discourse, like speaking about shit, is what actually makes the world better.
Yeah.
Because if you make someone nuclear, like if you make someone like radioactive and they say shit and you can just say, no, you believe in this, I shouldn't be listening to you. How does that work out for the world?
Yeah,
It's just pick and choose, right?
yeah.
Like everybody got too comfortable over the years of picking and choosing.
Everybody got too comfortable with just canceling people instead of like actually letting them live. Like
So
someone like Trump, right? He got banned off everything. I don't agree with the shit that he says, especially like when he does wild shit. But it's good to have someone like that in people's faces so they know the real things that are happening in the world.
yeah, they like
And that motherfucker's funny, bro.
yeah, like
Yeah.
You remember when he went to Puerto Rico and he was handing out paper towels, but he was shooting them?
Ballin'!
The form was crazy, bro. Like,
right, he had to follow through, isn't he?
imagine you lost everything, no electricity. And Trump just goes,
Hey, that boy was wild. But like back to what you're saying, and they don't want to see like the real shit, like the real things people do. They want them to abide by like certain,
But what they
mannerism.
think, what they think is fucking
And like,
proper.
and if someone steps out of that, they're like, "All right, man, you can't do that. Like, you should act a certain way." That's why these boys get hated and not even hated, just like villainized and.
But what I think Ricky Gervais said is like a very like funny thing, like, but it was on point as well.
Is it about cancellation?
Not cancellation, but like with social media and shit as well. It's like picture like Instagram. Every platform is like a town square, and everyone with an account is like the people of that town square. And in the middle is like a notice board saying guitar lessons. Like whoever wants guitar lessons, take the little tag, call the number, this day, this time. And it's like these people who consume, let's say, Andrew Tate's content and they don't like it. It's like going up to that person's guitar lessons to their house and saying, I don't want guitar lessons. It's like, if you don't want it, then you don't have to like consume it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you don't want it, like stop watching it.
and it's the lowest hanging fruit to do is to be like, oh, cancel someone. Like instead of doing that, why don't you spread a good message? You know what I mean? Like a lot of people have platforms and it's like you see someone's popping. And this is with Andrew Tate, with Joe Rogan, with like a bunch of people that are being cancelled that actually didn't do anything that wild.
Yeah.
Is that people use that clout and they write like, bro, we're doing it right now. Like,
Yeah.
like we're hopping on that fucking clout train
The
right
wave,
now.
yeah, we're
But
on
at
the
least
wave.
we're not doing it out of hate because like bro, like if you do shit out of hate, that shit comes back to you. Like if you're doing it to like observe and be like, okay, you have an opinion on something, cool. If you disagree with them 100%, cool. Because like you're not gonna agree with someone 100%, but
Yeah.
if you know in your heart and in your mind that you're doing some shit just so like you can profit off someone off of hate, then you're a loser.
Yeah, it's fake.
That's the thing as well though. When everybody loves somebody, or like when everybody else is getting the attention, the only way to stand out is to be the negative one.
Yeah.
So they got that like ban him, get rid of him, and I'm just like,
It's like that saying like
oh,
the
man, be like
1% of social media have like 90% of the say.
yeah.
Or like have 90% of the loudest voices.
It's crazy how just a little movement can end like someone.
You know what else is crazy? You keep lighting that cigar.
Yeah.
It's lit.
Like,
It's lit, bro.
I don't,
Is it? Lights it again.
it is, but like rotate it so like it burns evenly.
But yeah, someone like Andrew Tate. I've actually. So I listen to people, right?
yeah.
I listen to people and see what I can learn from them. And I've actually learned a lot from Andrew Tate. I feel like because he's been so popular and like I do a lot of I make a lot of content on TikTok, so he's always on there, and on YouTube he's always on there. I've actually learned some lessons off him that are very, you know what it is? He reminds me of my granddad. And I know that's like
The dead one.
Yes, the dead one. They're both dead. But he reminds me of my granddad because my granddad wasn't like a soft sort of person. He's very like hard. Like both of them.
My granddad.
Both of them. Like they were like manly men.
Old
You can
school,
Very
like,
stoic, yeah.
live
and you
or
can call
die.
that toxic masculine. I don't think so because they provided for their family, and all I can say about them is good
yeah.
shit. But he reminds me of my granddad, and a bunch of the shit he says actually like made a little change in me. Like regarding women, a lot of the takes he has, I'm like, he's just joking, or like, I don't think women are property, or like he's wrong about that. Like I don't think I can be cheating. Like I've never cheated, and I don't think I can be with multiple women. Like,
I know about like the cheating. You don't do that. We all joke about it, but
we've actually all never cheated. And I don't think,
with multiple women, it's like the talking stage. You can have multiple women
Yeah.
because it's not like. But if you're serious about someone, obviously you're not gonna talk to other people. But isn't that like the point of the talking stage to find like the most compatible person for you?
and I think with him,
and then go on.
with him as well, like he's talking about having multiple girlfriends, so it's past the talking stage. But we're not at his level of achievements. Like maybe if we have hundreds of millions of dollars, we're gonna be like, nah, maybe I can, because like they're consenting adults. If they're like, okay, I know that like you want to be with multiple women, I'm one of them, but if I agree with it, then I agree with it. Then that's fine, because women can have multiple men. If women want to be like, I want to be in a throuple, I want to be like with multiple men, and the men agree with it, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't do it, and I personally wouldn't have multiple girlfriends, but I think I wouldn't know if I would have multiple women if like when I have a lot of money. But at the same time, another thing that he's been saying is you have to be the man before you make money. So I already have it in my mind that I wouldn't have multiple women. So when I have money, I probably wouldn't have multiple women because that's one thing that he actually teaches. And that's one thing that, like I said, my granddad would teach me, like, because my granddad didn't grow up rich. He was poor, but like he would teach me, like, even my dad, like you have to be a man first. So when the money comes or when everything comes, like all the achievements and like the fruits of your labor come, you're already that person. You're ready for it. Because money, people have said, Andrew Tate has said this, but money is an amplifier. So if you're a bad person with money, you're going to be evil with money. But if you're a good person, you're going to be giving, you're going to be philanthropic or however you say that word. Like you're going to be a good person with money.
Yeah, philanthropist.
You know?
I get you, man. But from that take, I understood everything. And hopefully whoever watches this understood everything. But did we have the same fucking granddad, bro? Like,
Bro, they were wildin' back then, so.
They were wildin', both broke, but then somehow made a lot of fucking money.
And kids.
And a lot of kids,
Yeah,
a lot
kids.
of uncles and aunties. But like, what the fuck? was our granddads broke and then somehow made money?
And that's because they were
just
men. They
men,
were
yeah.
manly men. And I think that's like, I know we're focusing on Tate on this podcast, but that like after this we're probably not going to talk about him. But that's another thing that is like going away now. Like how come people say express yourself, accept everyone for who they are,
Yeah.
but when someone's literally like a manly man
No, you can't accept him.
accept, yeah.
in traditional, it's like we don't accept that.
Yeah.
You have to be feminine, but you don't have to be.
Because they're pushing this move. Like, I don't know who they are, but why is this movement getting pushed in the Western society, especially
Yeah,
to be like
being
to be
feminist,
this?
feminine men.
You know what I mean?
They're trying to weaken men. I think that's what it is. And I'm not saying that feminine men or gay men are weak because
They're strong.
They're
Some of them
not,
are strong as
yeah.
fuck, bro.
Not physically, not just
Mentally.
physically, but like mentally as well. Like
Oh.
they're really strong.
If I were to like build business with employees, I would probably like get someone who's like probably gone through some shit, like a mother or like a gay man or woman, because like they've been through some shit. Especially like the older generation of like gay people who are like, I never knew my father. My father never accepted me, or I could never like tell
like-
people who I am because I would be ridiculed. Like they got out of for the better, and like I just know like those people have been through some shit,
They
so they
find
know
it hard to be accepted on who they are.
it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's like hardship. Like
Yeah.
people doing hard things, people have overcome war, depression, financial collapse, and they've come out for the better. Usually people who are like people we're drawn to, and they're like some no nonsense people. Like have you met anyone who's like been through war, like
Yep.
went to war and shit,
my granddad.
and they're just like
Judge Combosis.
yeah. But like what I mean? Like,
War, deception.
yeah, but like they don't accept like bullshit, bro, because it's like life can be like taken away.
Yeah,
Like been through so much hard shit. Like we can't like focus on this. Like
that's
oh, this is
what
what
we
a man
look up
is.
I
to.
mean, like with us growing up with poverty around us, but they can't. There's no time to dwell on it. They have to keep it pushing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And like that's what his teachings were. Like you have to keep it pushing. You have to be that guy, like that man.
Yeah, through everything. Like he always talks about, and I think the reason why, like personally, that I was like attracted to his content is because he didn't grow up rich, and like he has a stereotypical teenage boy's dream of like having supercars and mansion girls and all that bullshit.
like
but
Dan Bilzerian type of shit.
yeah, but like Dan Bilzerian, like he doesn't really like Andrew Tate doesn't even talk about women that much. He talks about like struggle. He talks about life. He talks
He
about
talks
his dad.
about be this guy before you get everything else. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
he talks about shit that like is really not being talked about around men. Like when I have a son, I'm gonna tell him like, even if I have money, I'm gonna be like, no, this isn't your money. Like you gotta learn how to earn it.
And Dan Bilzerian's content is literally just women.
Yeah,
Exactly.
except he
And
just,
it's like, it's women, but he pays them. So they are high-end prostitutes. He's not getting cancelled, is he?
Because he's not talking
Because he's
about
not
shit
talking
that matters.
about
Yeah.
shit that matters.
Yeah.
And he's not talking about shit that needs to be talked about. And he's not different. He's the same as like the guy that's like, oh, he got women, but he's not saying dumb shit.
It's like every Instagram thought. Like he's the guy version of that, which is again which is another thing that is like debated, but it's like it's harder for him to be like that than it is to be Instagram thought because it takes a lot more work to make money as a man. But he's doing like shit that doesn't really make a change in the world. Like he's flexing. That's all it is. And obviously as men we kind of want that flex. Like I want that flex. I want like I don't know, like I want to feel like the man.
You'd be lying if you say you don't.
Yeah, like I have no ego and all that shit.
Not to flex, like, damn, I have this much, but like, look at the fruits of my labor.
Yeah, just be like, I'm the man. If that means that you're the best fighter in the world, you're like, no, I'm the man. Now that's what you want as a man. Like you're not going around the world like being like, oh, like I'm not gonna be good at anything. I'm just gonna exist. Like men like that, I don't feel like I don't look up to them. I don't look up to them. Like I look up to people.
No point like being associated to someone like, yeah, I'll just flow through life. No nah, I don't want to be anything, no aspirations,
Yeah.
nothing.
It's a fucking loser, bro.
Like,
No
even if,
aspirations, bro.
You know, even if you're like, man, like someone is like, oh, bro, I want to do a trade and I'll start my business.
Yeah.
And I want to do all this. Like, damn, bro, you got like goals in life, like you want to achieve. Yeah, man. No matter how big or small the goals are, as long as someone has them.
I've never looked at someone. I respect all people, but I've never looked at someone who had the chance to achieve something and did nothing, just sat down. And I'm like, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not gonna look off. I'm not gonna look up to someone like that because, bro, like, it's hard. It's hard being a man. Like it really is. Like we were joking around at the start, but like the suicide rate is 75% higher. We go to jail more. You know, like we
do like you know, people talk about like, oh, the wage
gap.
Yeah, it's true, it exists, right? But you know, we're trying to do something about it. But we do all the hard labor.
Yeah.
Like not all of it, but like if you look at the, you know, the workforce in that area, it's mostly men. Like
And the dumbest people in the world are men.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there's a lot of shit that is hard as a man, but that's the thing. Like I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, it's hard. It is hard. So what?
Exactly.
You know, it's hard. So what?
Pushing. Like the other day, man, I wasn't like, you know, in the best mental space to be at school or anything. I woke up, got dressed, sat in all my class and shit. Had to keep it pushing. I can't be like, oh damn, I don't feel good. I must sit at home today.
We don't have that option.
We don't have that that luxury to be like, oh, I'm not feeling too well.
As people, we don't have that option. And I think what makes you a good person or like a driven person is when you're doing shit even when you don't want to do it. Like,
Yeah.
I go to training and I'm like, I'm tired, bro. I don't want to fucking train today. And I still do it.
Yeah, we all do it because we got to do it. I don't want to go to work fucking...
Yeah.
I don't want to go to work for someone else's dream.
Yeah.
Like what I'm doing now. But like I got to do it because I've... In like 18 months of time or like 2 years time, like I'm going to need what I've worked for today for the future and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, for your business that you want to grow. You know? For
Gotta have to,
everything
like-
that you want.
Bro, it's like enjoy the sunshine. You're going to have to like go through the rain, bro.
Yeah. And another thing. I was having... I don't know if I should say this.
Say it.
No, actually I can because this is multiple people that I had this conversation with. I posted something about someone. No, it was Tristan Tate. He posted something about money can't buy happiness. He was like, I think money can buy happiness. He's like, the Lambos and the Bugatti is cool, but I think it's happiness when I bought my mum a house and told her she doesn't have to work anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then people were inboxing me being like, oh, like you shouldn't be like worried about money or like you shouldn't be like chasing money and shit like that. You should be chasing like something that's fulfillment. No, they said you should be chasing happiness. And I think chasing happiness is one of the dumbest things you can do as a person. It's one of the dumbest things you can do as a person because
happiness doesn't stay.
And happiness
don't give a fuck about you.
Happiness isn't it's not a fulfilling thing. Like fulfillment is different to happiness. Happiness is something children chase. If you're a child, you just want to be happy. Dopamine. Yeah. Where can I get this like rush from? Like it's not something that you should chase.
You're like, oh my god, I want to cuddle it. I'm so happy now. As a grown person, happiness, it's not it's not there all the time. You don't want to chase something that's not there all the time. Happiness comes and goes. If you chase inner peace and like just contentment, that's the good things that you want to chase. You know, like if you just want inner peace, man. Because inner peace, you just breathe like good vibes around you. You just work harder. Yeah. You're nicer to people.
And people, and he was like, they were saying that they were saying that like money doesn't really matter. But I'm like,
I tell that to my people back home.
Exactly, and the thing is, like, it pisses me off. Like, it really does piss me off when people are like, don't chase money, don't chase that, because I've been that person. I've been that person where, like, when I was 19, where I was like, I don't care about money. Like, a part of why, like, I moved out of home is, like, I don't care about money, da-da-da-da-da. But I was green then. I didn't know what I was saying. Like, now I can understand that my mindset was right, but it's like, no, money matters. Money matters not because of the monetary value, like, not the commas in your bank account, but, bro, money buys you freedom.
And time.
And also... Yeah. I know that, like, for all of us, we're not going to get money and be greedy with it I think like I'm meant to make money so I can help my people.
Yeah.
I think that's the reason why I'm meant to make money. Like I'm not gonna be out here being a millionaire, like buying cars, buying houses, and not sharing it with the people that I love or my country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've seen the world. Like
yeah, there's a point where like, bro, having money, and where we come from, it's like there's a part in us, or like a lot of our people like goes overseas. It's like if we make this much money, we're gonna send it back home.
Yeah.
To for the children, for the people.
It's literally like ingrained in our culture that if you go overseas, if you make a little bit of money, you give it back.
Yeah.
That's what I think of. And the people that are telling me like you shouldn't focus on money, they grew up rich.
Yeah. Most of the time, a lot of people does say, "Oh, it's not all about money." They're like, they've been comfortable their life. You know,
never had to struggle their whole lives.
Struggle is like, oh, they have to go to work.
Yeah.
It's not like they get to go to work. They have to.
I look at life like I get to go to work because we have a for me anyway. I don't want to talk like about you guys like from your perspective, but like for me anyway, I feel like I have a purpose on earth. Like I feel like a lot of this shit, you don't take in your life, but like what you do actually matters while you're here. I feel like I need to make money. I need to make money not so I can buy shit. It's so I can give back. Like I feel like your purpose on earth, like you can't. Jay-Z said it. He said you can't help the poor if you're one of them.
Yeah. Facts.
Feel me?
I think that's what we all want to do as well. I think that's why we're all like on that same path. But to circle back, you never want to just be feel that one particular emotion forever. You don't want to feel happiness forever.
You want to feel the whole spectrum of emotion.
You have to, because that's part of being human. The people who feel only one particular emotion, they're usually the people who are like clinically mentally ill.
Yeah.
And they can't, their brains can't comprehend.
Suffer through like
you have to suffer, bro.
Depression, anxiety. Sometimes you're sad. Sometimes you lost a loved one. You're grieving like.
It's part of life.
It's just happiness. Like
it's a spectrum
part
of
life, life. Like people, I hear this a lot though. Like, don't worry, be happy.
The fuck does that mean, bro?
Okay, I'm gonna stop all my worries now. Obviously, everybody has their downs.
You're like, okay, I'm happy. Damn.
But it's like it's me.
You say to me, it's like, oh, don't worry, be happy.
Hey, don't worry, be happy.
Oh, damn, never thought of it like that.
Fuck, I wish I could just flip the switch.
Hey, let me turn the shit on.
Yeah.
Damn.
Those.
But we got real serious too. But like, for real.
For real, no, it's like all three of us like want the same thing. It's like, I want the same thing as well. Like what Tristan was saying is like, I'd rather like feel like my purpose is to elevate my community, then to elevate the state, then the country, then progress like that, and like international type of shit. So like for me, happiness and fulfillment would be to make money and to like give it back. Like imagine if we can make so much money that our parents won't have to like argue and shit anymore. I don't know about what your parents do
about money,
but sometimes my parents
about money.
Yeah, my parents
not just about money, but just shit gets heated, bro. Like even last night, bro, I never felt
anger.
Not anger, but like sometimes just going home is like the hardest part. Like I used to think like, fuck, I'd rather stay out all night so I don't have to go home. Usually the hardest part is sometimes going home because I know what.
I think we've had that. Like
I've been like that. That's the reason I moved out of home. Not because my parents were fighting each other; they were fighting me. But like I felt like that, and that's the thing. Like this is men talking, right? This is like things that we don't really like show to the world, but like I feel like it needs to be shown because it's part of us. But bro, like the thing you said about like your community and then the state and then the country and then international. I feel like that is a big part of being a man, is wanting to like make that big of a difference, because I feel like everyone has a gift, right? We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Everyone has a gift, and you're doing a disservice to the world. You're doing disservice to God if you believe in God. I believe in God. You're doing disservice to the whole humanity if you don't live out your full potential. Like you have to live that out. Like how can you be yourself? Especially if you believe in God, and God look at you and be like, like I gave him a chance, but he didn't live up to it.
Yeah.
How can you look at yourself and be proud of yourself? Like one thing that is missing in the world, like especially with women, like men interacting with women, is honor. Like we don't have honor anymore. We have clout.
Yeah,
Like people talk about clout. People talk about money.
It's the new currency, clout.
Where the fuck did honor come? Like when did it go? When did it not become a part of society anymore?
When social media took over everything.
I remember this week, like
I remember back in the days
bro, people fought wars to protect their country. They like died. They lived and died for their country. They lived and died for their kids. They lived and died for their wives.
They're doing that right now.
And they're doing that right now. Like there are people out here
in
who
Ukraine as well. Yeah, they're doing it right now.
Like Australians do it too, like everywhere around the world. But it's like the whole like the ecosystem of like the internet. No one talks about shit that actually matters. Like, bro, like I would feel dishonorable if I didn't live up to my full potential, because I'm gonna be like, damn, like my ancestors died for this. Like,
and like
they're gonna look down on me like, damn. Like,
and also, we would let a lot of people down, especially guys our age.
Yep.
Back home, and they'll be like, damn, that's all he achieved. I mean, it's not even like
it's not even coming from a place of like
negativity. It's more like
he was the one.
He was the one.
Yeah.
And that's why I got this like I never like tell anyone about this, but I got this guilt of like, you know, like fuck, it could have been anyone, and I'm just like, I'm really lucky. But like then again, I'm like, bro, I'm really him. Like I'm really him.
That's
like,
how you have to feel as a man. You have to feel like you're him, because I'm
really him. Like I'm in this fucking position for a reason. Like obviously, you know, having hardworking parents, they put me in this place. But like, you know, I used to doubt, like, why me? Why couldn't it be like him or my other friend? But then I was like, bro, I'm him. Like, I'm doing what I'm, you know, in the best of my abilities right now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to grow even more and just like reach out more and branch out more in life. But that's why I'm like, yeah, I'm really him. Yeah. I wasn't crying, by the way. Shit got stuck in my nose.
That's cool. But like, look at where we are, bro. Like, in the fucking best.
Yeah.
Bro, we're fucking smoking cigars on a Wednesday night. Like the fact that also as well, like how grateful we are. Like you can go into a doctor's office, get a blood test for whatever, well, like any
just to check out,
test anything under the sun. You can do it pretty much for free because of healthcare. It's like, I think to me, I think it's a disservice to not as privileged people that if you don't like cherish and like give back to elevate people who don't have that same opportunity, it's like a wasted gift, bro.
A lot of people, you know, in different continents as well, because I don't think this will happen in Australia at all. They have to pay just to see the doctor. They have to pay. I remember my mom was telling me back home, they're like, one of her friends were like, oh, bro, like I needed to pay the gloves for the doctors to use. Because they're like, they weren't going to pay that. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I'm wasting gloves here. Like, I use it. I just need to do something with it. But then I have to take it off because I need to wash my hands, obviously. I then have to put on new gloves. Over there, they're like, they need to see the doctor. You need to pay. And then for the doctor to touch you, especially during the pandemic, to check you out, they need to pay for the gloves that the doctors will use. I'm like, that's...
Yeah, it's wild, bro. Like, there are countries out here that don't get... Like, you know when my granddad died? And I've, like, this isn't going to get me emotional because it already has. Like, when he died, because it was like a year ago. He died from COVID. And he already had, like, lung problems because he was smoking.
The irony of it all.
Shut up.
Yeah,
so, like, when he died, because of, like, the pandemic in the Philippines and how, like, if you get sick there, you don't really get treatment. So how he died, like, they couldn't treat him like how they would have if there wasn't a pandemic. So what happened was he passed away from COVID, and then that day he just had to get wrapped up in like the sheets he was in. Yeah, and he had to get cremated that same day. So they just picked him up in his clothes, cremated him, and then like end of the day, my dad was just my granddad was just in an urn. Like, how crazy is that? And you know, in the Philippines, death is a big thing. Death is like part of that, like
it's
culturally.
Culturally,
bro, like we celebrate your life.
You
like
don't go straight to the cemetery.
No. Like we have like days where like everyone from overseas, like we have time to like say goodbye to you and like view
you have
and
like
shit
2
like that. Like
or more weeks for the viewing, and then if you got like family overseas, that gives them enough time to take off to come over. And the thing is, it's in someone's house, the viewing, and it's an open casket, and somebody has to be awake 24/7 because there's a rule. There's like we have this belief of like nobody, like even one person just has to be awake, right? It has to be there. You can't leave him like the dead person unattended.
Yeah, I remember my dad was like angry at someone because they were like, "Don't ever like try to leave." Yeah, because when his dad passed away in like 2017.
That's why we have like. That's why if you go to Philippines, for example, if you see like a house with heaps of lights at like 3 or 4 in the morning and there's people gambling outside, it's so there's like you know people that's alive outside. There's life there, and it's not like
want
a
to send you off with like life in there. And like my point of that is that we like here we didn't. I don't obviously like people could still go to funerals or like there was like restrictions, but then. There, bro, like it's a whole part of our culture to like celebrate your life while like your body is here, like your soul's gone away, but your body's here. And imagine like, imagine for my mom, imagine for like his kids overseas, like literally on that day he died, and then on that day he got cremated. There was no like funeral,
no open nothing. Casket, and it's no big for us, like to touch the casket and just like to pay your respect. It's massive, but like. You saying like he just got cremated, and I'm like, bro, well, that took me. I'm like, what? We don't do that.
It's insane. Yeah, we don't get cremated. And it's insane, bro. Like, it fucked me up when I first heard like what actually happened. Like, they literally just like wrapped him up in the sheets he was in, and then they were like, oh,
it's like pretty much just burning him out. Like, that's crazy. Like,
it's heavy. It's heavy, huh? It's a heavy topic, but
because my grandma died during COVID as well, but it wasn't from COVID. It was from sickness, and they try to like the mayor in town. They're like, and like the hierarchy in the church around town. They're like, oh, can we get the 2 weeks? Can we get the 2 weeks? They're like, no, you can get like 5 days max. That's it. At least we got the 5 days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, they asked me like, are you gonna come home? I'm like, well, there's no such thing as coming home right now. Like, by the time I get there, she's gonna be buried anyway. Like. You know what I mean?
And then like back to like the whole Andrew Tate, like men. We're talking about just men now. These are pains that we don't talk about. This is the shit that hurts us. That we're like like we kind of just laugh about life.
We joke a lot.
Like we're grieving and shit. Like we have like emotions that we don't show other people because we just have to get on with it. And I know that like we can talk and all that shit. And like women always say like talk about your feelings, but like look at what happened when someone the most like manly person in the world at the time tried to like talk and say what he thinks. He got cancelled, and I think that's the point of the podcast. Is like it's hard to show who you are as a man because you get cancelled.
It's hard to show who you are as a person in general. Yeah, but it's hard to show who you are as a fucking man, bro. Yeah, and one example is the boys. You share your emotions with a girl. She'll use that shit against you, bro. Don't ever do it. It's like, no, just open up to me. We've been together for 2 years. I don't give a fuck, Keisha. Like, don't do that.
Why is he speaking from experience?
Nah. You know what I mean? Like, bro, how can you use someone's pain against them? Like, what the fuck? I would never do that to someone. Not even. Like, I don't even have ups like that, bro. I'm from Chicago. I have ups, but like, if somebody was like telling me a deepest, darkest secret, and then we get into argument, that's why your dad left you because he's a crackhead. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not.
Bro, that's why you got kicked at home.
Emotions up and down. That's why we kicked you out. Like I'm not gonna use someone's pain just for the sake of like the argument. Like, but like a lot of you itty bitties do that. Like that's crazy how and they're so open about it as well. Like I did it.
Wow.
Do you reckon Blueface's girlfriend does that to him?
Oh yeah, for sure. They're the most toxic couple right now.
Hold on, before we talk about this, let's take a little break. Thank you for listening to this podcast.
Thank you for getting real with us, and stay tuned for the next one because this is the serious one. Next one's wild.
Yeah, like, free really Andrew Tate for real.
And free Hold Keep him in jail. Keep him in jail.
One at a time, bro. Come on.
Free.
One at a time. Baby
One at a
steps.
time.
Baby
man.
steps.
Like, who we freeing? Free
Just-
Larry Hoover. Free Thugger now. Hey.
Free
Free
Gunner?
Gunner, bro.
Gunner,
He's
what?
not enjoying the food. I know. That fat motherfucker.
Yeah, joining the commissaries.
Pink leggings. He's not enjoying the food in there. Hey,
Oh,
thank you for
break.
staying, and yeah, keep in touch for the next one. Slip.
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.